Yo, what's going on guys, your boy Max here and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you lot about how you guys can win more wages in a Fortnite, and those are primarily going to be taking place in creative. I just don't see any pub wages sort of taking place anymore, like, you know, the Fortnite Friday style, whoever gets more kills wins. So that's why I'm going to be focusing on creative sort of wages more in this video. And the two sort of most popular options for wages and creative are going to be build fights and box fights. But box fights is the more popular option at the moment, as it pretty much, you know, actually tests your mechanics a whole lot more, because it's not about just keeping height, it's about using the right hand peek and all that. And I'm pretty sure all of you know what box fights is, so I won't ramble on about that for too long. But before we actually begin, I want to ask you a question. Are you really good enough to be putting your hard-earned money on the line? Because if you're hesitant when thinking about that question, or you know, you believe that you're not quite at that stage yet, then don't wager people for money. And this is probably one of the most smart pieces of advice you'll hear from these sort of videos, because a lot of people think, you know, they're all that and stuff, and they're trying to wager money just for no apparent reason. You know, they want to just have some fun and throw some money on the line, which, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're gonna be, you know, playing wages for a while and you're gonna, you know, throw a lot of money into the pot and see what comes out, then I do recommend that you guys practice a ton of box fights before actually doing that. And the reason being is because you will still learn a bunch of stuff by playing people, you know, not for money, just to actually improve yourself as a player. And once you're at a stage where you're comfortably, you know, sort of beating really good players, then I think that's when you should start going all in, and, you know, start off with a little bit of cash first of all, and you know, maybe escalate that after, you know, you've won a couple of box fights, at least, you know, like 10, 15, maybe even 20, because you want to start off small. You don't want to be, you know, losing too much money if it actually comes to it and you match against players that are really good. And the chances are you will be coming up against people that are very good. Otherwise, you know, what's the point of them putting their money on the line just to lose? You know, they are gonna try hard against you, so, you know, you have to be prepared for that. And once again, just to reiterate, you don't want to be putting money on the line unless you are really good at this game already. And you know, because the chances are you will be losing a bunch of money, and it's just more clever to actually save it for, you know, future investments, maybe a better gaming gear or something like that. But until then, just practice without putting money on the line. Anyways, let's actually get into some of the more important tips that I think will help you win more wages. So first of all, let's talk about how super important your warm-up is. And you want to be playing Fortnite for at least an hour or two before even thinking about doing any wages. And the reason being is because if you come online not warmed up and you're playing someone who, you know, on a good day is pretty much just below your skill level, and they've been playing for like 2 hours before you've actually come on, the chances are they will whack you super hard. And you don't want that to happen, right? You don't want to be losing that precious money. So that's why it is just super important that you get the warm up in, and no matter what. If you don't warm up, then don't even think about any wages, I'm telling you right now. But anyways, let's take a look at some of the more useful edits that you can use in your box fights. So a lot of people love to do the bottom left and bottom right sort of edit, which, you know, it's not particularly bad, but it is super predictable nowadays because everyone does it. So what you actually want to be using for your edit peaks is what you're seeing on the screen right now. The top left or the top right hand corner triangle edits are super useful, and I've been using them for a long time before I actually stopped playing Fortnite for a while. So yeah, they're super useful, and make sure you guys get those down. Next, let's talk about the phase through wall techniques that I'm sure you guys know about, but if you don't, then I've done a video on pretty much the most simple and the most useful for phase through wall methods, which you should definitely have a look at after this video. It will be in the top right hand corner of your screen right now, and yeah, make sure you give that video a watch after finishing this. But anyways, those phase through wall techniques will actually help you phase into your opponent's box, and if they are weak, then that's just gonna give you a free round, because you want to be hopping in and taking those 50-50s when you know that your opponent is low. As well as that, you always want to be on the lookout for new glitches, exploits, or just any useful tricks that you can implement into your game. So, you know, the newer the glitch or the exploit, the less people are going to know about it, and the bigger the advantage you'll have by being able to use it in game, and that will definitely help you win some of your games in your wages. So yeah, that is something that is just very, very important, man. But anyways, let's move on to the next tip, which is going to be, don't be afraid to play defensive or offensive. And this goes hand in hand, even though a lot of people don't realize that. But let me explain what I mean by this tip. So if you're an aggressive player, then you want to be sticking to your strengths and having that aggro play style in your wages, because it will pay off. As you know, when you stick to something you know, and a play style that you know always sort of take on, then you'll win much more of your matches. And you know, it goes the other way as well. If you're a player that likes to, you know, outsmart your opponent and play a little bit defensive at times, then use that play style in your wages as well, man. Because if you're a defensive player and you're gonna go and rush and play aggro all of a sudden, then that's not gonna work out very well. But whatever your play style is, all you want to be doing is not letting your opponent run the game, and that's just crucial. Even if that means you have to adjust your play style, try to do that. But before that, you do want to obviously stick to your strengths, as I have just talked about. But anyways, that pretty much wraps it up, and if the video was helpful, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on to never miss another upload from your boy ever again. And before you go, make sure you guys are using the code MaxGamer7 in the Fortnite item store if you'd like to support me and the channel at no extra cost whatsoever. But do bear in mind that the code does reset every 14 days. Anyways, that does end off the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.